Hello, say it's Kelly again. I want to get on today and talk about something that is not product related. No ingredient list, none of that. So yay, I can talk about other stuff, who knew, right? But it is all related, right? So we're going to talk about detox or die off today and what that means. And until you really understand what that means and that it's a real thing and how you can manage it, that's where it is, really. You need to understand how you can manage it. You still count it as joy. We say that all the time, right? You still count it as joy that the products are working. And that is true. There's truth to that. But we also want you to understand how it can be managed and what is actually going on in your body, okay? So detox, die off, we use those terms pretty interchangeably. I think specifically there are differences, but for all practical purposes, we're going to use detox or die off, okay, as the same thing. So what's going on in your body, it presents as different symptoms. And I know you have a list. I'm sure your ambassador has sent you a list, either by hard copy mail or electronically. So detox symptoms generally present themselves as flu-like symptoms. Headache, number one. Fatigue, like ridiculous fatigue. Stomach upset. Liver pain, like where your tummy actually hurts. It really hurts. Swollen glands, chills, elevated heart rate, fever. So it can present as all these things. Get out your list and take a peek, okay? But we want to manage those. They don't have to be miserable for you, and they don't have to be as severe as they probably are, maybe are. Personally, I didn't experience that detox phase in anything that like presented itself that was uncomfortable or changed anything in my everyday picture for my routine, okay? But I know that for others, it's a very different picture. And that's why we're going to talk about it. So the whole medical term for the detox or the die-off, they call this a Herxheimer reaction, okay? So what's going on in your body is that as that candida yeast is being broken up, okay, we talked about that before, as the shell of that candida yeast is broken by the enzyme and it's excreted, it's creating toxins in this metabolic process. These metabolic byproducts are being produced and your body has to get rid of them. And when we overload that and there aren't enough avenues for it to be getting rid of, that's when these symptoms occur, okay? So we want to help you be able to manage them. All right, so just as your liver becomes overwhelmed, which of course is our organ that is most and primarily responsible for getting rid of waste in our systems, it is also excreted through our kidneys, through our bowels, through our skin. So there are other ways that it's getting released out of your system. But these organs get inflamed when this is going on. They're kind of going into overload. So these byproducts, they're unable to clear fast enough. Our system can't process them fast enough. And again, that's what's happening, this Herxheimer reaction, okay? So let's go over some things that we can do to slow that down and to make that more manageable. Because the last thing you wanna do is get discouraged and say, these just don't work for me. These products just aren't working for me. But the deal is they are working for you. Whether you have those symptoms or not, they're working for you. We know that for a fact. But I don't want you to get discouraged. And this is where it's really important that you understand what's going on and that you work with your sponsor, your ambassador who signed you up, or anybody on the team, really, for that matter. Talk to us. We will help you through this. It's not a big deal, and we tweak things on purpose, okay? So let's go over some easy things that you can do that are gonna help with this, okay? So the first thing, we wanna slow down that process, right? Like I said, your body is getting overloaded by these toxins, and it can't excrete them fast enough. It can't rid itself of these metabolic byproducts in the way that it ought to be, okay? So slow down your products that you're taking, okay? So whether that means that you're detoxing on the Slim or the ProBio 5, some people even detox on the collagen powder, okay? So if that's happening, we want you to slow that down. So if you were drinking a full Slim a day, cut it back. And if that means cut it back to a quarter of a packet a day, that's okay. That is totally okay. We want that going in slow and doing its work like it's supposed to be doing, but you still have life to live, right? We don't want this miserable on your system. Okay, so slow those products down, decrease the doses. Sometimes we even need to flip the order that things are introduced. So again, talk to us, let us know what's going on and we can help you. Second thing, and I know you're gonna love to hear this, drink more water. And I don't mean in the form of Gatorade or whatever else you're drinking, coffee or tea or any of that. I mean straight water. So when this detox is occurring, it's recommended you drink 2 to 3 liters a day, okay? So, generally speaking, we always say half your body weight in ounces per day, every day in straight water. So this may be less than what you're used to. This may be way more than what you're used to, but push your fluids. That is the avenue in which these toxins are getting out of your body, okay? The next thing you can do, increase your sugar intake. And that's kind of a common sense thing. Think about it, right? Sugar is what's feeding that yeast. So if you cut the sugar back, you're not feeding the yeast. We're trying to kill it, right? That's what we're doing. So decrease that sugar intake in your diet. And that comes in the form of processed foods. It's not just reaching for the candy. You have to think about what you're eating. So high carbs and high sugar foods, cut them out, okay? And with that being said, we want you to introduce foods that are high in antioxidants that also have a low glycemic index, okay, or a low carb load. So that would be things like green tea, turmeric, leafy greens, nuts, or seeds would be some good examples of what you can do to increase some of those calories that you're not eating the garbage, okay? So that's what you want to do. Another thing, try and stay on that probiotic if you can. Try and stay on that, because of course we want to be repopulating the space that's being left as that candida is moving its way out. That's the whole purpose of that, is to repopulate the good bacteria. So stay on the probiotic if you can, okay? Next thing, skin brushing. This is, some of you may be like I was, that seems kind of weird, but there's a lot of truth in that. It's stimulating that lymphatic system, so skin brushing, really, it's a thing, right? So try it. Why not? Sauna, if you have access to a sauna. Of course, your skin is another organ in which you can rid yourself of toxins, so sweat it out. That's a thing too. Okay, a sauna. So again, it boosts your circulation and the lymphatic system. It will help excrete things through your lymphatic system. All right, and the next thing, rest. Now this may seem really counterintuitive when I'm already saying fatigue is a big thing, right? But when I say rest, here's what I mean by that, okay? So the stress that's being created in your body, it causes an HPA axis to overwork itself. So that's the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and the adrenal glands. So they are being overloaded and overworked, okay? So the longer that continues, then your body starts to adapt to those higher levels that it should be producing, and it can't keep it up. It can't keep that higher stress hormone levels. So what happens eventually, that HPA axis just becomes dysfunctional. All right, it becomes dysfunctional. So we need to switch from that fight or flight to rest and digest, okay? So what I mean by that is do things that are restful and relaxing for you, all right? So that may be a different picture for me than it is for you. It may mean for you to sit down and read a book. It may mean to sit down and watch a movie. It may mean take a nap, and that's okay. Go for a walk. And move your body. Do some yoga. That's what that means, okay? So get away from the fight and flight to the rest and digest, okay? All right, now we're gonna talk about some things that you can add. And I'm not saying that, if this doesn't work, hopefully that helps. You should, go as far on this list as you need till you can get the symptoms managed. Add liver support. Okay, as we've said before, the liver is your largest organ that is working to get rid of all these toxins that are being created. So we want to give that liver some support. There's a supplement available that is really good at that. It's called milk thistle. Go out and get yourself a high quality milk thistle. I prefer you go to your local pharmacy, talk to your pharmacist, and have them help you find a good supplement, okay? So what that does, it increases the liver's functioning capacity. So it helps it to work more efficiently, all right, in moving those toxins out. It flushes out by producing glutathione, and glutathione is our largest antioxidant. So that's what we want to do. By increasing that glutathione production, it increases the liver's ability to flush out toxins, okay? Fun fact with the milk thistle, it also has an ingredient in there, a compound in there called psilocybin, and the psilocybin content has antifungal properties, which is what we're trying to do anyway, right? So that's kind of fascinating. Yay, yay. Very simple, very inexpensive supplement, and it works, okay? The next thing you can do when this is going on, you have to think of also your immune system being on high alert, right? It's creating toxins in your body, so your immune system, red flags, goes on this high alert, increasing the inflammatory response in your body, because that's how our body functions, right? Goes into this inflammation mode. So how we can help that is supporting it with vitamin C, high dosing vitamin C, all right? So easy peasy. Supports your immune system and also your adrenal gland function, all right? And then, it also increased the T cells and the phagocytes in our system, which fights the yeast as a candida as well. So yeah, anti-inflammatories, and that because of our immune system going on high alert like that, that is why you're hearing that the Ease is also really effective in detox. And sometimes that's even started as a first line product before you get into the triplex, to just try and avoid that. If you already know your inflammation is one of your deals, okay? Overall inflammation. So that's why that makes sense. All right. Next thing, last thing, Epsom salt baths. Okay. So at least for me, we are always told they're soothing and whatever, but they're actually medicinal in the fact that the magnesium sulfate in there pulls toxins from the body. It's the sulfate in there, but it's in the form of magnesium sulfate. So if you can soak in an Epsom salt bath for at least 15 minutes, that also will help pull the toxins through the skin. All right. So those are really simple things that you can do. So don't make it bigger than it is, meaning don't say these products just don't work for me. I feel rotten. I know you feel rotten, but the thing of it is, when you get to the other end, you're gonna feel amazing, I promise. So stick it out, You are worth it. You are worth it, all right? So just remember that the detox and the die-off, it's a good thing if it's managed properly, okay? We don't want our bodies in this overload function either, trying to process those toxins. So it's important that you get a grip on that and that we manage it well, okay? So yeah, stressing your body out is not healthy, and it just leads to a slower recovery, and there's no purpose, okay? So that is what I wanted to talk about, and the reason I wanted to talk about it is because, why? Gut health is a what? Say it. It's a big deal. Gut health is such a big deal, you guys. So get through the detox, get through the die-off phase, and get to the other side, because you are on the road to recovery. You're on the road to recovery from so many things that are going on in your body, and you're going to feel so much better on the other end. So that's my encouragement for the day. If you have any questions, let me know. Let anyone on the team know and reach out to us, okay? Make it a great day.